Alright, everybody, we're going to be making origami boxes today. So the only thing you need is a square piece of paper, and it can be any length either side as long as it's square. This happens to be 8.5 by 8.5. So keys to success with this, you want to make sure that when you make your folds, you make them nice and crisp and clean. So when you put, if we're going to do a corner to corner fold here, you want to make sure that your corners line up perfect like this. You don't want to have this. That would be bad because then you're going to end up with a crooked fold. If we do side to side folds like this, you want to make sure once again that your sides even up perfect like this, not like that, otherwise you're going to have crooked folds again. So nice crisp clean folds, and when we do folds, guys, just make sure that they are nice and solid all the way down. So when I make a side to side fold like this, I like to run it in between my fingers like this, back and forth a few times, or you can do the old fingernail method where you run your fingernail along in a piece of against the table there. That helps a lot too. So nice crisp clean fold. So see if you can follow along here, and then at the end we'll have a nice clean origami box from a piece of paper. Good luck. Alright guys, so here we go. We've got a nice square piece of paper here. This happens to be 8.5 by 8.5. It can be any size you feel comfortable working with. Our first fold here is going to be a corner to corner fold. So we're going to fold this in half here. Make sure these 2 points line up perfectly. I like to hold them down tight, pinch them down, come down here, and then go to each corner here nice and smooth. Once again, you can either crease the paper like this, or you can run your fingernail along this, but you want this to be a nice tight fold all the way across. Alright? Once you have that, I like to open it up and back fold it, which means just do the exact same fold and just fold it back on itself. That way, when you do this correctly, this paper should be able to fold comfortably either way, like this or like this. Alright? We're going to do another corner to corner fold here, so we're going to go to these 2 points, the opposite 2 points. Once again, hold these down nice and tight so they don't move on you. Come down and off to both sides like this. Push them back and forth like that. That's good. And then once again, we're going to back fold this one as well, so come back on itself. Back fold that guy, crease that guy really well. Once again, you want to make sure that this can fold either way, this way or back this way, comfortably. Alright? We're going to do one side to side fold. So line up the 2 sides, make sure this corner meets and this corner meets. Fold them down tight, come down the middle, one side and the other side. Hold that one nice and tight. You can once again use your fingernail here if you want, or if you just want to run them in between your fingers, that's good. And then once again, we're going to back fold this guy as well, so that it's comfortable swaying both ways. It's got a nice hinge to it. So now this can go either way, back or forth, okay? This is our first difficult fold. We're going to need to bring the sides in to make a triangle. So we have a square now when you make a triangle. Here's the tip that I do. I say make a tent like this with your paper. In the middle of your tent you have a little dot. We're going to push that dot down. We're going to raise the sides up so we make a little puppet here. And then once we have our 2 sides up, we're going to squish everything down into a triangle. I'll show you that one more time. We have a tent here. We have our horizontal line going this way, our X going here. I'm going to push the tent down, pushing the X in the middle, makes that little dot. Our 2 sides lift up. We're going to bring our 2 sides up. We've made a little puppet here. Alright? So bring your 2 sides up together and then smush everything down into a triangle, just like that. So we've gone from a square to a triangle. Fold these folds here nice and tight again. Okay? You'll notice that your sides have 2 flaps. What we're going to do on this next fold is bring these points up to the top. You do not want to bring both of them up at the same time. Just one. So I'm going to pick up my first one here. I'm going to fold this one up to the top, right up to that top point there. Hold it down tight, and then fold this down here, making this nice and smooth. Here's your fingernail crease. Same thing with this side, just one flap. Meet that second point up at the top there. Fold it down nice and tight. Once again, fingernail crease that guy too. Okay? Flip the whole thing over and then do it 2 more times. Once here, try to get it up to the very top. Get a nice crease there. And then the same thing with this guy. So now we're back to a square again. We went from square to triangle, and now back to square. So you should have a square with a line running through the middle of it on both sides. Okay? This next fold, we have once again 2 flaps on both sides. Don't be fooled in folding them both up. We just need to fold one. We're going to fold this point into the center line. You do not want to fold it beyond. You do not want to fold it short. And you don't want to fold it off to the side. We want to try to bring this straight down onto the center line right there. So bring it to the center line, hold it down tight, and make this fold right here. Okay? Turn around the other side. Once again, bring this fold right to the middle. Meet with this other point right there. Push this down tight. There you go. Turn this guy over. Do the same thing both sides. So bring it to the center line. Push it down tight. Nice fold. Same thing on the other side. To the center. Nice fold there too. Okay, so now we have this kind of kite shape. Alright, you'll notice that one side is really thick. One side has these little flaps on it. These little flaps we need to get rid of. We can't have them on our box. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take these flaps. This is a multiple step process here. We're going to take this wing here. We're going to fold this wing out as far as it can go. And what we've made here is a triangle. See this triangle right here? This wing was up, and we're going to fold it out as far as we can go here. Once it's out, we're going to fold it in half back on itself. So we've folded that triangle in half, okay? So this was here, now we're folding it here. So we went from up to out, and then back in on itself, okay? This little flap here now has a home. If you look underneath them, here's that flap we had before. You might be tempted to just tuck them underneath the flap and let them go, but that would be wrong, okay? It has a little home here. If you look inside this flap, there's a little pocket right there. That's where he needs to go. So underneath this wing, we went up, down, back it on itself. We lifted this guy up. We're going to find this little pocket right here, and we're going to tuck him in that pocket as best we can so that he goes home right in there. There, now he's gone. We have to do this 3 more times. So we're going to go out, make the triangle, back in on itself, make the little half triangle, look underneath. We're going to open up this little pocket right here. We're going to push that guy in and put him to bed. There we go. We got to do it 2 more times here. Here, 4 1/2. Up underneath, open up your pocket. There he is. Put him to bed. Out, back in, open up your pocket, put him to bed. All right, now we have all 4 of them to bed. The very last thing we need to do is we need to do 2 more back and forth folds here. So with this top point right here, we're going to fold this point down into this center point here. Put it right down in the middle like that. We're going to get a nice good fold here. You can bend it back and forth. You can run your fingernail on it, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to lift them up and go back the other way. Okay? Once again, a nice good fingernail fold there. All we want is that this guy can be able to shift back and forth just like that. We want a nice good fold. This side is a bit more difficult since there's more paper down here, but you got to do the same thing. We're going to try to fold them down in the middle here, press down really hard. I like to bend them back and forth to kind of loosen that paper up. Push that guy down in the middle, then open them up, press them down to the other side. Push down really hard again, just like that. Wiggle them back and forth. Sometimes I have to do this fold a couple times just to make sure that it can go either way like that. But what you want here is to be able to do this, back and forth, back and forth. These hinges should be really good, okay? That's all we have to do. The last step is to blow it up, which I'll show you next. All right, now that you're done, you should have this shape here. Everything should be tucked in nice and clean. We should have these sides that fold easily back and forth. Last thing to do is blow it up. You'll see that one side has a little line going up here to a little tiny hole, and that's where you're going to blow. So you want to make sure that when you blow here, you put your lips up to it, and it's a like that, not a, we're not blowing on our hot cocoa in the morning. So it's a good blow. Blow into that hole, and as you blow, you're going to pull these 2 things apart. So when you blow, pull them apart, everything should come together. So here I go. There it is. Start pulling this guy out. Give him that little puff there. Go around, clean up all your edges, squeeze them all together, just like that. You can take this little box and you can decorate them all the way around. You can put little trinkets in there. See if this has this little hole here. You can put that open and put little trinkets inside there to give it to your friends. But you've just made a brand new origami box. See if you can do yours.